r/askreddit. What is a not fun fact?
In Australia, there's a plant called the gympie, which has such a severe sting that horses who brush against it throw themselves off cliffs because they'd rather die than continue to experience the pain.
Sloths only have enough energy for their weekly toilet trip to the jungle floor. If the baby falls from their underside in the trees onto the floor, they choose to preserve their energy and leave it to be eaten.
Why can't they just drop a deuce from the branches up high? Edit. I now know why sloths can't just air raid turds from tree branches to conserve energy. Thank you, Reddit.
Hard to hold a newspaper when you're clinging to branches, I suppose.
Penguins rape the hell out of anything that looks vaguely penguin-like or doesn't move. In fact, it was so rampant that the 1910-13 Scott Antarctic expedition decided it was best not to bring it up so society wouldn't have to deal with the issue it would bring up. Scientists witnessed males having sex with other males, and also with dead females, including several that had died the previous year. He also saw them sexually coerce females and chicks and occasionally kill them. The scientists blamed this astonishing depravity on hooligan males, and wrote down his observations in Greek so that only an educated gentleman would understand the horrors he had witnessed.
How the hell does a penguin sexually coerce anything?
Kowalski booty shake.
If a hamster gets too stressed, it will eat its kids.
There is a genetic disease called FOP, where your muscles and tissue turn to bone, often called eye-human statue disease. Eventually, people may have to decide whether they want to become frozen, a fitting or flat/standing position.
I assume you would be dead when you become frozen, right?
The number one cause of death among pregnant women is murder.
Horses can't throw up, so if they eat something bad or get a bad gas bubble, they just lay down and die.
Millions years of evolving and they still can't vomit.
Better horse.
Urine was used for teeth whitening and bleaching of clothes in ancient Rome. Yes, they rinsed their mouth with human and animal urine.
Oh God, imagine all their clothes smelling like piss. They definitely wash it out with water, but there's got to be that remaining sour smell.
They left it to ferment beforehand so that they would get ammonia from urine.
Cute! Fuzzy little sea otters are known to rape baby seals to death.
Ducks also have this habit, shockingly.
I knew ducks raped other ducks, but I haven't seen reports of them raping seals.
People with extreme scurvy start to have all of their old wounds open up. Everything with a scar is held together via an active process with collagen, and without vitamin C, just sort of, what?
The threat of a deadly bird flu spreading to humans is always there. It takes just a little bit of negligence in screening chickens for this to happen.
It was once thought for birds, parrots, magpies, to learn to talk you had to release their tongue. This was done by cutting their tongue completely or partly off, of course without any anesthesia or painkillers. The tongue release plays absolutely no role in the bird's ability to talk.
A man once had a tapeworm get cancer. That cancer metastasized, and the man died from tumors of tapeworm throughout his entire body.
There are 8 unaccounted for American nukes, and lacked really an unknown quantity of missing Soviet nukes that range all the way from warheads to suitcase bombs.
Wait, so are they unaccounted for, or are they legit unaccounted for? As in, they're lost?
There's a few lost in the oceans. There's a megaton yield bomb buried somewhere off the coast of Georgia, state, and a couple in the Mediterranean.
There's a government-led genocide going on in northern Ethiopia right now.
Government-led genocide. Hey, what? Edit. I knew that a lot of genocide was government-led, but I did not know about the Ethiopian one.
Who did you think runs genocides? The local MK?
The reason you're supposed to contact a doctor if you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours is because prolonged priapism can lead to gangrene of the dick. Blood goes in, deoxygenates, but can't leave, so there's no way for fresh oxygenated blood to come in, causing the tissue to turn black and die. Don't worry though, this can be treated by using a big syringe to suck the trapped blood out.
A big syringe. On an erection. Tissue death doesn't sound too bad.
Despite being the largest mammal, blue whales do not have large assholes. They defecate with an anus the size of a grapefruit.
Blue whales do not have large assholes. They defecate with an anus the size of a grapefruit. We now know what /U/Pantias-19 considers a large asshole.
The little girl who voiced Ducky in the first Land Before Time was murdered by her father before the movie came out. Her gravestone says,
Her name was Judith Barcy, and she was also in Jaws. Poor kid died a horrible death.
Didn't know she was in Jaws, but she also did a voice in All Dogs Go to Heaven, a less popular animated movie. She didn't get to see either of them come out, and her mother was in the process of a divorce and trying to get them out. I guess why the father snapped.
Most power outages in the US are caused by squirrels.
Those fuckers are up to something.
No, we aren't.
Male dolphins like to hunt fertile female in groups and hound them because they are unwilling. The females are often injured during this, some even die.
They will also kill any young that are with the females just so they can breed. Killing the baby to them is just getting rid of a distraction to the mother, hoping they'll become fertile sooner / more willing to mate.
Certain sleep disorders that cause you to act out your dreams are strong predictors that you're developing a neurodegenerative disorder like Parkinson's or Lewy body dementia. I wish I didn't recently learn about it.
Not me, a loved one.
How do you act out your dreams?
Oftentimes when pandas have cubs, if they have more than one, they will choose which one to keep and abandon the other because she can't care for two. Grizzlies are the opposite. If they have a litter of just one, sometimes they'll abandon it and try to mate again the next year to try for a litter of multiple cubs. Edited to add, thanks everyone. Never thought these sad bare facts would blow up. To all the people saying pandas are obeying China's one-child law, this is true. Pandas are good law. Abiding bois, and goals. To the person who gave me the wholesome award. Maybe rethink your priorities, haha. But thank you nonetheless. Also, I think a cub exchange program between grizzlies and pandas is a superb idea. Let's get started on growl for bears.
So realistically, I can potentially find an abandoned panda baby and raise him to become the heir to my noodle shop.
Skidoosh.
You can have an aneurysm and die at any moment.
Judging by post titles, this happens to thousands of Redditors on a daily basis.
A blue-ringed octopus found in the Pacific is a tiny and cute little guy, but one painless bite gives enough venom to kill 25 male adults. Edit, changed sting to bite. Also note, as long as you are given medical attention within an hour of you receiving the bite, you'll be fine.
These live everywhere on the coast where I live. I remember it being drilled into us really young not to stick our hand under rocks or into rock pools on the shore, because once you realized something had happened, it would be too late. Australia. I live in Australia.
The reason dogs love squeaky toys is because they sound like small animals dying.
Why do you think cats like the pass-peas noise? It sounds like happy rats. An old roommate had pet rats and they would make a happy little chittering noise when content. Sounded a lot like the noise we use to attract cats.
Pasps, pasp.
Bedbugs procreate by traumatic insemination. Males literally stab females with their genitals. So, just another reason to hate them then.
Not only that, but bedbugs don't care if it's male or female. Males have been found with holes in them from other males. In fact, a male bedbug A can penetrate male bedbug B and inseminate it. Then male beg B that was penetrated can find a female and inseminate it with male bedbug as sperm instead of its own.
Hey, this is regular, not fun facts. Super extra not fun facts is down the hall.
There are more deaths due to mental health issues than all forms of violence combined. People are struggling.
Yet it seems like there are 1,000 medical doctors for every one mental health professional.
Rabies is terrifying. You can get it and not even know it from bats, which live across the globe. It might hit you right away. It might be in 3 years. But it doesn't matter because once symptoms set in, you're already dead.
It can take years for symptoms to show. Well, another thing to worry about.
If two male flatworms meet, they will sword fight with their dicks until one loses. The loser will become female and they will mate.
Sorry, this thread said, not fun facts. This is wild.
Valentine's Day is a holiday with one of the highest suicide rates.
Migraines and strokes carry a lot of the same symptoms, so if you suffer regular migraines, you may not notice you're actually dying one day.
I'm a migraine sufferer and have nerve problems in my shoulder that mean I regularly lose the feeling in my left arm. I could have a stroke and heart attack at the same time and think I'm having a normal day.
Spider rain, you read that right, is a real and naturally occurring phenomenon.
So is frog rain and fish rain. Some of us will die in a few hours. Edit. Holy crap, I just came back. What happened to this account I made for Rocket League?
Jesus. He died a long time ago, dude.
During one, thousands of dogs were taken from families for the war effort, and when the war was over, most of them were just shot because it was cheaper than feeding them for the trip home and finding their homes.
Yep. My great-uncle was in Vietnam as an MP, military police, and trained a German shepherd named Ox from the time it was a pup until he deployed. He spent over a year in Nam, and he begged to pay the military to take the dog with him. They refused, and when the next EMP came in, they gave him Ox. Ox wouldn't listen to the MP, so instead of shipping it home or letting my uncle pay, they shot him. My uncle is a great dude, and the story rips me up. He refused to own another dog the rest of his life because it would never be as good as Ox. Quokkas, the world's happiest animal, will throw their babies at attackers if threatened.
Same.
To say it hasn't crossed my mind would be a lie.
Climbing Mount Everest has a 6.5% mortality rate. What's more harrowing is that if you die, you will most likely be left there. There's currently over 200 dead bodies on Everest that are irretrievable and now serve as markers for other climbers. Not a bad place to eternally rest, but upsetting for those left behind who can't give you a proper burial.
Make it fun. One area is called Rainbow Valley because of all the different colors of jackets on the bodies. The image that most people have of blobfish is based on a misconception. People think that's what they look like all the time, but blobfish adapted to live in deep waters, which means the deeper you go, the more water pressure there is. Their bodies are not meaty like fish, but more gelatinous because they adapted to the water pressure. If you accidentally pull them to higher levels but with less water pressure, their bodies don't handle it well. Say there's nothing keeping their bodies intact, so their bodies explode. Basically, every photo you've seen of a blobfish where they look big and pink, and of course, blobby is a photo of a dead blobfish. Merchandise and cartoons designed after what they look like dead. Hell, they're referred to as what they look like dead.
You can smell your own lungs. Your brain just filters out the smell. Is that why sneezes sometimes smell like, well, sneezes?